Now, this line over here, this line over here, imagine like this is like where they freaking draw the line on the sand and say, this is us, this is you, right? I'm curious to see how this is going to develop. Is Pandemic Horde and PamFam actually going to respond to yesterday's fireside and all the information that has been announced? Are they going to interrupt, this big movement? Hi YouTube, Bushido here, and welcome to another video. Today I have a few topics to talk about. Today we need to talk about the latest updates regarding the war in 2025, my decision who I decided to join in this war, and in general just which alliance and nullsec I decided to join. And yeah, with that being said, exciting times are ahead of us. Let's talk about, please, if you're new to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. I just want to recap this because for the majority of you that's not interesting, but let's just recap from the previous video for people that were watching and commenting on my previous video, which was who should you join in 2025? Well, if you look at this beautiful keep star with that B on top of it, you can probably tell that I did join Goons, and I'm actually really excited about it. I did. It took me a good 2 to 3 weeks of research, of talking to different corporations to decide where I want to go. And thanks to you guys that were commenting in my previous videos, who should I join? I finally decided to side with Goons Federation because for me, and according to your comments and your support as well in the videos, in my previous videos, I did decide to join Goons Federation. I can already tell you, I've been in here for a week now. I joined several fleets. I met amazing people and made new friends already. I have a very good feeling that I made the correct decision. With that being said, I'm not going to talk about this much more. Moving forward, you will expect me to cover more stuff from, the Goons Federation side in general. Maybe if you see me in Mumble, or just in general, if you see me over there somewhere, just say hi, say what's up, Bushido. Looking forward to fly with most of you folks over there and make new friends. Now, let's talk about the war, ladies and gentlemen, and what is happening over here with that war. Well, basically, Goons Federation yesterday had a fireside stream held by Asher, the leader of Goons Federation. And basically the big news is that CTech J over here and this beautiful Keepstar, this was the PvP staging for until yesterday. Now the big news, if you guys don't know, you see that home icon over here, home station. Well, it will literally be your home station moving forward. So the Imperium and Goons in general, the new home is gonna be CTech J. All right, so basically now, until now, this was staging, right? Most of the fights were taking place here in Insmother because liberation of South Space was happening. Pandemic were bringing in fleets over here to just have fights, and everything. The whole action was around Insmother and CTech J, which is awesome. 2 Keepstars were blown up last week. And a lot of things were happening, right? That's pretty cool, pretty awesome. Now, the big change is that this is becoming the new home system or region for the Imperium and in general for Goons Federation. So Insmother, everybody is going to be moving into Insmother. I'm telling this for the folks that are not aware and don't know about where Goons Federation was, previously. Right now, all this green space, what you see over here, this was everything the Imperium, right? Here on the Delph side, Brave space, and so on and so forth. But the majority of the Goons Federation and most of the corps in Imperium were in this region, and particularly here in Tenerife's, here in this cluster of connections. UALX used to be the home or headquarters where everybody had most of their assets, and from here, a few jumps away was Beehive in a separate system, and so on and so forth. Now, what is changing is everything is going to be moving up, northeast over here. into Insmother, and there will be a lot of hauling and a lot of movement in the next couple of weeks. It has been just announced yesterday. People are already panicking, and a lot of people are already moving stuff, which is understandable. I understand that stuff. For me, it's particularly easy because I only have a couple ships I just recently joined, so I don't have to really worry about moving stuff over here. But the majority of the older players in these corporations and have everything settled up in other regions, they will have to start moving slowly towards this regions, and it will be, for the next couple of weeks, it will be like a very solid logistical fleet situation. Now, what Asher mentioned, there will be obviously keep stars set through the route, so people will just jump freighter, just sign off from one place to another, and it will be pretty easy. Regarding the movement, that's fine. Everybody will figure it out in their corporations, in their alliances. That's not the difficult part, in my opinion. What I'm more curious about is how PanFam and in general Pandemic Horde is going to respond to this. Now, this line over here, imagine like this is like where they freaking draw the line on the sand and say, this is us, this is you, right? I'm curious to see how this is going to develop. Is Pandemic Horde and PanFam actually going to respond to yesterday's fireside and all the information that has been announced? Are they gonna interrupt, this big movement? I'm curious to see how this is gonna develop. Now, I do have a slight feeling that they're not just gonna sit back and watch people move stuff. I do think that people will actually become a little bit more active right now, and more fights might develop, and hopefully, Pandemic is gonna bring a little bit more fights, because to be honest with you, I think like they have been too inactive or too passive until now, and just watching and observing. And I do want to see that, more aggressive push from their side, so to keep the war going and the fights going, because that's what excites me. The fights, the PvP, all this is pretty exciting to me. Yes, right now PvE is more on hold. People are not ratting that much, but in the end of the day, you have been ratting all these months and years to prepare for fights like this. So that's the whole idea. Let's go and fight. Let's have more fights, more battles, more structures being blown up, and etc. etc. Now, for the next couple of weeks, or more than just a week, the focus will be slightly shifted over here to Delve. And this is where, Goons is moving out from Delve. So this region in general, this place over here will be a big question mark, how this is going to develop. Who will want to move in here? Who is going to conquer this? Who is going to call this home? Is it going to be in it? And, their friends moving down here? We don't know yet, but for sure we know that there will be a big keep star that will blow up pretty soon. And according to Asher yesterday and the stream, the fireside, there will be a Valhalla funeral. That means that everybody's gonna go and blow that keep star up. I can already imagine that a lot of people will go there, not only Greek like Imperium, but also other people will want to try to blow this up. So it will be probably an interesting thing to watch. But this is going to be soon. Now people will start moving stuff from there, and it's more of a logistical week or two now. People will focus more on logistics rather than big battles, and then the big battles are yet to come. Now, this is what I have as my own observations of just watching what is happening. I'm still pretty new to the corporation and to the alliance, so I don't know all the details. I don't know how previously things have been happening. So for me, it will be I'm just speaking out of my intuition right now and out of my observations. I would love to hear what you have to say about this situation right now. Is this going to develop in a good or in a bad way? Do you actually like the whole Imperium and, Goons being, in this cluster of systems over here? and with everything basically focused on one region? Or did you actually like it where things were a little bit more spread out like they used to be until yesterday? I think that that's a good thing, that like there will be a hard focus on Insmother moving forward. Probably this is going to be really good also once Beehive goes online again, and there will be the umbrella protecting the expensive stuff. So I'm curious to see how this is going to develop. Let's see. But pretty much here's a small update on what is happening.